I got so mad because this is not okay. Like, you don't do things like that when you see a girl. I mean, I guess I will never understand that mentality. Hi, I'm Flo, and I'm a stripper. Well, that's what it looked like, and what it felt like, and probably what it was. And as you can see, I still carry some trace of it until today. I got into this industry surprisingly when I was broke AF, McDonald's refused to pay my salary, and I was stuck with bills to pay. Yeah, it sounds like every beginning story of a stripper's life. So there was a local club looking for girls to dance on a speaker. And I remember I went in there and they gave me $100 to shop my first outfit, and that's when my trial night started. Yeah. And let me tell you, never have I ever felt so desired and so hated at the same time. The amount of attention you get is crazy, and it gives you some sort of high. And of course the money of it just adds to that kind of happiness. So yeah, your girl got hooked right away. And you know what's so funny with all this is, one, I don't enjoy alcohol. This one is just a glass of soda. Yeah, I'm just that hardcore. I don't drink, I stayed sober for the most of the time. And two, I don't dress promiscuously on a daily basis. What the frick? And three, I don't know how to be charming, flirting, or anything of that nature. At that point, I haven't even kissed a guy, so I didn't know what I was doing for sure. And four, yeah, I can't dance. I just can't dance. There's nothing in my body that shows a decent dance move, so yeah. So you probably wonder why I continued dancing if this industry was not designed for me. Well, it gave me a sort of power that I've never experienced in my life. Growing up, I was always in the shadow. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was pretty unpopular. I mean, I know most kids are unpopular or feel that way, but for me, I never had any sort of attention from either girls or boys. And I remember I went to this kids club once a week, I think. I just had one big dream during my whole childhood, and that was to get asked to dance to the slow dance song. And I remember so vividly that I went into the club and I was like, okay, this time I have these pink shoes that I just got, I have this like cute handbag, and this is it. I know, like, some guys is going to think that I look really cute today, and some guys are definitely gonna ask me out to dance. And no. I never got asked to dance. I've never felt desired when I grew up. So when I first got up to the stage, I felt the rush of feeling finally wanted, and I just felt so amazing. My self-esteem just skyrocketed, even though I probably looked so horrible and everyone thought that, but it still took my self-esteem to a whole nother level, and I just got hooked. Throughout my first job, I got some more connections, which led me to bigger clubs in Oslo. When I say clubs, I mean nightclubs. I used to label myself as a performance dancer, but what it really was and what people viewed it as was a stripper, but not taking my clothes off. So yeah. That's pretty much how it was. At this point, I got so excited. I started to dream big, and I booked jobs all over the country. I got free plane tickets, free hotels, free drinks, free food, free anything. And I got to meet artists. Plus I was paid for having fun. So I felt like I was living my life to the fullest. My resume was filling up with amazing references. I worked for two of the biggest festivals in Norway. The first one was Palmeses, which is located in Kristiansand, another city in Norway. And I also worked for Finance Festival. I worked for all of the biggest clubs all over the country. I worked for artists such as Steve Angelo, Stevie Aoki, Fede Legrand, Kygo, and so much more. But I can't remember them right away. Yeah, so many artists. And a lot of the outfits that you are seeing here are handmade by moi. I just got so carried away. I wanted this to be my full-time job, so I started to sew. I purchased everything off eBay, and I just wanted to get creative to create unique costumes for each show. And because I was so invested in this, I ended up with owning the whole wardrobe, and I think it is worth somewhere around $8,000 US. So yeah, I put a lot of money and a lot of work into making this work. But hold on, this is the part you all been waiting for, and that is the dark part of being a stripper. And I'm here to tell you almost everything. Usually when I showed up at work, they were really demanding. Because they're already paying you, they want to get as much value for their money. So they usually want you to work non-stop for 5 hours straight. And if you are not the type to be strong and just to tell them, no, I'm not gonna work that much, you are taken advantage of. Because to everyone else, it seems so easy to just stand there, just like have fun, dance, and be like flirty. But for 5 hours straight, come on, it's really hard. I also come across clubs who were splitting the bills. So when we was done dancing at this club and we thought we were going to stay there, the club told us to go to another club across the street because they're already split the bill. They think they can do whatever they want, and that's a little bit sad, I think. And I also experienced that they usually want you to do more than you are signed up for. So for example, one club, they wanted me to go outside and give people flyers and try to get people inside the club. Even when it was -degrees outside, they still wanted us to go there and like get people inside the club. For me, that is taken advantage of when they ask you to do such things. So when we booked the job, we didn't know what we were coming to. I'm not saying that everyone is bad, because we definitely had amazing clubs who spoiled us rotten and were really nice. But there's also some clubs out there who are not so good to you. And here is the part you would not necessarily guess, and that is all of our work during the stage of a festival were completely free. Yeah, we were not paid a single dime. Because they were usually saying that they didn't have any room in the budget to have us there, but they would be really happy if we were coming anyway. So I looked at it as a opportunity to get seen and to get more jobs in the future, because that way I could have it on my resume. So it was a win-win situation, but still they have some money to pay. I mean, come on. And all of the artists that I've been working for has been completely random. When we were there, they didn't book us for anything, but we just showed up, and we needed the management to either approve us or decline us. So when we showed up at the festivals, we didn't know who we were working for or if we're gonna work at all. So it was really nerve-wracking, because we didn't know if we came for nothing or if we were lucky to get on stage. nothing was pre-planned. It was all spontaneous. As far as the safety, there was a lot of things going on. A lot of the girls, especially the girls, were really rude. They were pulling me off stage, well, trying to pull me off stage. They were spilling drinks. They tried to grab my hair if they had a chance to. They would just do anything to see you getting hurt. And I feel sad for this because I wish that girls could just support girls. If it was me, I would never do these things to another girl, but I mean, that's just me, I guess, because obviously there are still girls out there who get drunk and they just lose their minds and get really rude. But yeah, there's a lot of girls like that. And I also had one experience with a guy who were filming between my legs. I didn't know, obviously. He was trying to get a shot like straight up because one of the other dancers across the room, she saw it and she like ran across the stage and she was like, "Go away!" and got this guy kicked out, and I was just so shocked. I mean, I got so mad because this is not okay. Like, you don't do things like that when you see a girl. I mean, I guess I would never understand that mentality. And not to mention, when we were going off and on stage, we were not always given security. So there was a lot of touching happening from both girls and guys. So yeah, you just have to live with it, I guess. But the most dangerous security fail I've come across was the time we were going on stage and they had pyro, like shooting up. They were not shooting up at this time because we were there, but I know now after being there that it is illegal to be dancing next to the pyro because of the safety. So I was just so lucky that nothing happened, but that could have been a dangerous situation. So yeah, they're not always thinking about your safety and security. I also saw a lot of things happening backstage. I don't want to get sued, so let's just leave it like that. When we were backstage, the people who worked there would, not always, but occasionally they would try to hit on us. They would try to request sexual things. It was not unusual for artists to be really clingy and like they wanted to go home with the girls. And not only one girl, but more girls, preferably. I've heard of other previous girls doing such, and luckily we had really strict rules that I made because I wanted our girls to be classy and respectful. So if any of my girls would go home with any artist, they would not be able to work with me again. Just because it could happen so easily, because a lot of the artists that were hitting on us were huge artists, and some of the girls were already crushing on these people, you know, so we had to set those rules to be able to be safe. So yeah, dancing has definitely given me a reality check. The world is not as pretty as you think, and I'm also grateful that I have this experience with me, but at the same time it's in the past, and I'm so happy that I'm no longer in this industry and dealing with all of these things. So yeah, I think that's it for this time. If you have any questions related to this topic, make sure to leave it down below. I would be so happy to help and share my experience with this industry. I will also try to be more consistent with my uploads. I know, I've been so bad lately, but so if you're still watching and still here, make sure to subscribe to my channel. It would make me really happy. Yeah, I think that's it. Take care, and I will see you next time.